Hail and well met, everybody. That's right. They threw up the twat signal, so we're back with a vengeance here on Jack and Max Champion Attack.
It's a... Why? It's the other way around, bitch. Because I named it.
That was...
I'm
No,
not...
man. That was you going into business for yourself, and you know it. The plan was always to go alphabetically.
No, it wasn't.
Stole it out from under me.
The plan is always just I do whatever's working in my mind at the moment.
Nah, man, no. You reneged on it the first time, so this time I'm the one going into business for myself.
Jack...
As your host, the handsomest man on this podcast, I might add, Jack Finney, and over on the other side of the world, we have the Australian filmmaker, robot combat enthusiast, and the man who has the largest collection of waifu figurines this side of the Gold Coast, Makon Crayley. Take it away, man.
I don't believe that's true, but sure. I'm the one who makes the goddamn images. I get to decide what the name on the thing is, and I get to upload it.
You do not get to decide shit.
That's
okay.
I do everything. I do fucking everything.
Oh, really? Then why are there two names on that marquee, Mac?
Because you're here to fucking carry the actual podcast itself. I'm the one who has to edit it together.
Exactly. Yeah, you admitted it. You heard it here first, folks. He admitted I carry this fucking show.
Yes, you do.
It's time to...
You're the Jay Hunter of this podcast.
It's time to carry us forward to the actual fucking subject matter of today's show, and that is Battlebots is back, baby! Woo!
And so are we, apparently. We are so very sorry for all of you. You are trapped here. You cannot stop watching. There is a binding contract. By clicking on this video that you have to watch all 6 episodes of this fucking season. Is this a season? Do we count this as a new season?
I'm counting it as a spin-off more than anything else. A side competition almost. But,
I mean...
I'm glad that it's here, because as we've seen already, they're already kicking this off to an absolutely fucking fine start.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what? I'm very happy. I'm actually very happy for the type of format that we've got here, because it means that we're going to get to see a lot of machines at their best, because they tend to do well outside of the highlighted ones here tend to do quite well outside of the actual tournament, and it's the tournament itself that, unfortunately, that's where things end up, the wheels falling off the wagon almost. But I digress, and we'll come to that later. Anyway, but I'm just gonna say right away, this is a fantastic opening episode, and the Battlebots episode isn't that bad either. So,
wow, Jack, we are probably 5 minutes in, and we've already shit the bed 5 different times. You can't just say
I know.
That.
I know, isn't it great?
Oh god, I've kind of missed this.
Come on, Mike, you know that the real appeal of this is not in finding out our thoughts, it's to see how much of a train wreck each episode becomes.
True, yeah. How much of a mess can I make my goddamn discussion of this, because I am a fucking idiot who doesn't know how to have discussions about goddamn anything.
But okay, right.
Let's get
to the show now.
Yeah, let's actually get to the episode instead of just rambling on about how bad this whole is.
Yeah.
We bury ourselves.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we do this to pop ourselves, basically. We've got 5 listeners. So, and if you're listening, then, you already know what you're getting into. So, anyway, as for the actual intro to the episode itself, I was so happy to hear Farouk's dulcet tones again, as he did such a fantastic voiceover leading into it as well, as he always does, because he's a absolutely fantastic voice actor. That's a plug for you, Farouk. We love you, and we hope people watch more of the stuff that you appear in as well.
Of course, I will try to hire you one day for fucking film stuff. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, he does take commissions to say lines and everything, so maybe you could.
True. I hope one day too.
And I loved equally seeing Chris and Kenny back, the 2 best presenters in robot combat history, in my opinion. And that's up against some very stiff competition, the likes of Craig Charles, Philippa Forrester, Dara O'Brien, Angela Scanlon, and of course the original names from BattleBots itself. But Chris and Kenny, they've just become an absolutely irreplaceable part of the landscape at this point. It would not be BattleBots without them, and I just absolutely love both of them. And you can see the chemistry is on full display once again, as always.
God tier chemistry. They're the best. They're simply the best.
Absolutely. Kenny is the color guy, Chris is the play-by-play, both with great commentary. All of it, it's just fantastic to hear. And yeah, okay, so they laid out the layout for this particular tournament that they're putting together. So for the uninitiated, but of course everybody here is initiated, but we'll go through it anyway. Okay, so 8 different robots will be competing for the Golden Bolt. Several of them already have run the gamut. They've already got their places lined up due to their status as former champions, or in this case, current champions. Hail King Tantrum.
Yeah, we've got
alongside
Tombstone, Endgame, and Tantrum.
Yep, Tombstone, Endgame, and King Tantrum.
King Tantrum.
Yes, you must use the official title every time.
Oh god.
Because otherwise, I will throw a tantrum.
Of course, the British guy would want a monarchy.
Oh my! You have wounded me right in my very soul there.
I mean, you brought it on yourself with the whole king thing.
Mac, you know I'm as anti-monarchy as they come.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
I just love tantrum.
Yeah, true. He's once your current queen goes into the last phase, then you can get Tantrum as the new king.
I mean, I'd be down for that, but I digress. Anyway, so 5 episodes of the show will be devoted to filling out the remainder of the participants in that tournament, with the final episode seeing a straight-up knockout tournament to crown the winner of the Golden Bolt. And just looking at who the champions in each episode are, we'll come to that later, or we'll just only cover each champion as they appear in each episode. We haven't decided yet. We have planned very little for this podcast, as you can tell.
I mean, that's the way we are a as it fucking goes podcast. We do it on the fly.
Yep. To be fair, there's a reason we refer to ourselves lovingly as the most Bush League podcast of them all.
Oh, that's a new one, I think.
Oh no, I've been calling us that since the very beginning.
Have you? Because I know.
Yeah, I've used it as an official selling point when posting about it on Facebook. Much love to our people in Combat Robot Floor Posting and the other groups such as Shump Posting and BattleBots Group. We love you.
See, I don't use Facebook, so I wouldn't know.
Yep. And this is probably why we have such little reach. Anyway.
Wow.
This week's... Anyway, okay, so we've established a format in which this works. We've got a knockout tournament throughout the episode to lead up to who will be facing the champion of the episode, much like BattleBots Bounty Hunters operated on. And this will determine who goes into the bracket for the end of the season. This week's champion is none other than the world's deadliest full body spinner, lovingly known everywhere as the baddest Beyblade out there, Gigabyte, the Guy Fieri of combat robots.
Oh, you love to see it.
And looking at it, Gigabyte really is a great gatekeeper robot to fulfill the champion role in this episode. The team has an absolute ton of experience. Gigabyte is very robust, and it's always a crowd favorite as well. It does absolutely tons of damage. It's always great to see a good, strong, full-body spinner in there as well. Highly entertaining fights, lots of experience, and it's exactly what you would want out of a champion in all of this, isn't it, Mac?
Yeah, especially for the first episode of this type of show. He's pretty much the perfect introduce you to this concept guy. But
absolutely, if you were watching BattleBots for the first time somehow, and this was the episode that you chose to introduce you to it, this would actually be a great introductory episode. I'm just going to say that now as well. Gigabyte would represent the sport very well in terms of that, especially considering how heavily focused on spinners we are these days.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am going to say right now, taking a look at the brackets, spoilers ahead of time, because it's going to be in the next fight, but Pour some out for Duck, everybody. This is going to be the last time that we see Duck, by my understanding, because Duck has officially been retired at this point after having gone 0-3 in the main season. And as we can see in the fight that's about to come up, there's a very good reason for it to be retired. Not just because it can't really keep up with the meta anymore, but also because of what we see inflicted on it in the next bout.
Man,
but, we will always love and... Yeah, same, man. We will always love and respect Duck for its incredible durability and how well driven it's been over the years. Unfortunately, this was just a very, very bad year for Hal Rucker's machine. Yeah, and we're about to see just how bad as Duck takes on Hypershock in the opening bout of the night. Now, can we talk for a moment about Hypershock's conga line entrance?
Yes, we can. It was great.
Yes, it was a sign of things to come throughout this episode, because I gotta say, Hypershock, Will Bales, we absolutely love you, by the way, so we're gonna say that now. The sense of showmanship from the entire Hypershock team throughout this episode, not just in the fights, but everything in the in-between, in the interviews, in the, just the walkouts, everything from Hypershock this episode was absolutely balls to the wall entertaining, and I just absolutely loved it.
One of the most lovably charismatic teams, in all of robot fighting, even every time they show up, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, and Hypershock, as we know, is an absolutely beautiful machine. It just tends to have really bad luck in the actual tournament.
Yeah,
every single time.
Yeah, because all it takes is one slip up. All it takes is one bad loss, and it's all over for them. And
yeah,
it sucks because Hypershock is a beast. It is an absolutely amazing robot. So
absolutely, we see it always perform really, really well in the lead up to the tournament, and then when the tournament itself comes, just something happens to go wrong at the last minute.
So it's always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, but we'll see what's to come then, because to the surprise of no one, Duck got torn apart in this fight. This wasn't even close. Hypershock just straight up devoured Duck, body and soul.
I mean, it tried to, because Duck survived until the end. It died on its feet.
Essentially, yeah. But, there was nothing close about this at all. Hypershock absolutely slaughtered it. We saw one of the most complete beatdowns we've ever seen. Well, this is going to be a running theme throughout this episode of just complete beatdowns.
Yeah, true.
But, god damn, Duck took an absolute thrashing.
It got flung into the air.
Worse than we've seen it take from the likes of Cobalt, I would say, because in that one, Duck managed to survive and, managed to win, even if many people did disagree with the circumstances in which it won. But the fact of the matter is, it did survive, and it was ultimately still working completely properly.
Yeah.
Duck in this one was another story, because it was punted all over the box. It had a wheel ripped off, what looked like a motor ripped out at one point as well, and it was just barely moving by the time that cease was called and we went to the judges.
They were chugging along, looking for that lemonade stand, but I could not find it.
And he'll waddle away, never to play again.
It's okay, because, as we always say, Duck may be gone, but soon will be the time of Goose.
Oh, yes, lad. Oh, that's going to be an absolute nightmare in metal right there.
I really hope that's what they do. I'm going to be so sad if they don't make it Goose.
Yeah, if they don't come in with their next robot being named Goose, that will be very upsetting, especially since this is technically the third Duck as well.
Yeah, fucking that's true.
Because, we've had 3 different versions of Duck, so Duck, Goose.
And, of course, it needs to have a gun attached to it. Just angry eyebrows and a gun.
Mac, you know that when it comes to Goose, if you've got a horrible Goose, it has to be wielding a knife.
True.
Haven't you seen the materials?
No, I haven't.
It would have no remorse. But anyway, okay, back to the actual fight itself. Hypershock was in top form here. Will Bales, no mercy, absolutely, completely smothered Duck, tore it to pieces, and you know that he felt pretty bad about having to destroy Duck. But when you're in the box, you got to do what you got to do. Let's face it.
He basically did the Shawn Michaels "I'm sorry, I love you."
Yep, but much more violently.
And Duck will not have an actual retirement match 20 years later, or 15 years later. That we need to talk about that afterwards, because that was a weird story.
Yeah, maybe we will. But yeah, anyway, the point is, yeah, Hypershock murders Duck. Duck rides off into the sunset. At the very least, with that being its last fight, that's the way you want to go out. You want to go out with your robot in absolute pieces, and for a robot as robust as Duck to get torn apart like that, that just shows how high the standard of engineering is nowadays.
Hell yeah. Great opener. I mean, actually, probably not great, but like it was a good fight. It was the best Duck fight of the year.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now, the very next fight that we have what looked to be a pretty good technical bout between Valkyrie and Smee.
Man, Smee tried. It did. It really did.
This is the thing. Smee was very robust in this fight, and it played defense well, but Valkyrie only had to get one good hit in on them and really mess them up. And after that, boom, just bam, 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 bam. Valkyrie tears Smee apart. There's not a lot to talk about with this fight, I'm afraid, is there, Mac? I mean, you see Smee try. See Smee try and hold up against Valkyrie's powerful weaponry, but there's really just not a lot that it can do with those spinners that it's got on.
Valkyrie ripped Smee's hat off. It's good old blade, which comes into play. It becomes a thing later.
It took the wheels as well, I think, didn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yep, just using its undercutter, tore out the wheels, and yeah, just a great job from Valkyrie, as always, living up to its highly destructive potential.
Valkyrie is always great.
Then we come but yeah, there's not really much else to discuss with this fight other than we see how powerful Valkyrie is, and it's a sign of things to come.
Yeah, literally, because there are parallels with the later fight.
Oh yes, but we shall come to that in a moment.
And now time for the match of the night: Mad Cow versus Triple Crown.
Oh yes, mate, it was a thing, all right.
We unfortunately we missed the match. We missed the entire match because me and Jack were having an argument about fucking Jack coming to Australia to throw a brick at my car and what the logistics of that would be.
Okay, right. For the sake of argument, we are going to go into this for the sake of the listeners, because let's face it, they know what they're in for at this point, and they deserve to know. The fact of the matter is, we were discussing whether or not Mac would be able to beat me in a fight, which I maintained that no, he never would, because he doesn't know a thing about fighting. And I said that the best you could do is get in your car and drive away from me.
I'll drive into you, bitch.
Yes, and that was when I said, no, if you do that, what I would do is throw a brick through your windscreen when you tried.
Yeah, but
which leads to...
Where would there be a brick on the... Where would you get a brick from?
Yep, and I said I would get one either from the side of the road, or I would get one from an Australian hardware store, because he seemed to think that I would bring one through customs.
You said you would bring it with you!
Yes, I said I would bring it with me to the fight, not through customs.
You never established that in the initial discussion.
And until afterwards. He had the absolute gall to tell me to name an Australian hardware store. The answer was Bunnings, by the way, of course. And yes, I stand by it. B-Tech hot dogs, not sausage sandwiches.
Oh, get fucked. We are not having that discussion on the... Look.
You
a sausage sandwich is not a hot dog. Fuck off.
Right, what you can do is you can post a picture in this episode
I will.
of the budding sausage sandwich, and people can decide for themselves. But I maintain it's either an open-faced sandwich or a really bad-looking B-Tech style hot
It
dog.
is not a hot dog, you motherfucker. I will fight you over this. I will kick your goddamn ass over this.
We have established that you could not fight me.
Look, if you get to bring a brick, I get to bring a fucking, I don't know, a shovel. I'm gonna bring a chainsaw, like fucking, like.
Mac, if you try and swing that at me, you'll run out of breath. Remember, I'm way fitter than you are.
Who says anything about fucking swinging at you? I'm fucking tied to my goddamn car. I'll go all Mad Max on you.
Oh my god. Are you saying that you're going to joust me with your car?
Yes!
You are going to joust me using a car and a shovel.
Look, I will take everything I have learned from watching Battlebots and I will apply it to this goddamn scenario.
You all know why we're doing this, of course. This is because this is more entertaining than the actual fight between Mad Catter and Triple Crown turned out to be. Nothing happened in that fight. Mad Catter shot out of its square right after Triple Crown, who didn't move and just, hit it a couple of times and it was counted out.
Triple Crown
That's it.
Working.
So I hope that you got a little bit more entertainment out of our inane argument than we did out of the Triple Crown fight. And it's a shame because I like Triple Crown as a concept, but unfortunately it just doesn't work in the Battlebots. There is something up with the machine. I'm sorry. I don't want to disrespect any robots or anything like that, but yeah, there's something up with the build quality there.
I was so worried that whole bit wasn't gonna land after we basically did it last night. But no, that was way better. Yep,
that was pretty fun actually. And with that we come to an actual good entertaining fight.
Oh yeah, the
Claw Viper versus Defender.
Very good fight.
The control bot versus control bot type of match. Or in this case, the Ram bot versus the Grabber bot. Not that Claw Viper isn't a grabber bot in its own right, but let's face it, it's much more of a ram bot / suplex bot than it is the type of grabber that Defender is. But I digress.
Yeah. You just keep going because I need a moment.
Okay, right. So, coming into the fight, Claw Viper very eager to actually use its tactics in this one. Both teams very clearly looking forward to a tactical fight, and a tactical fight is what we got. Now, a very quick opening as Claw Viper shoots right out of the gate, and Defender is quite nippy in its own right as well. And we see a good, interesting back and forth between the two of them as they jockey for position. But eventually, Claw Viper manages to assert itself by landing a great slam on Defender that dislodges the wheel and then takes total control of the fight, just ramming it all over the place, getting in suplexes, and at that point Defender clearly has nothing because it only has one wheel on its wagon, in the words of Jonathan Pierce. And with that, Claw Viper takes solid control of the fight and manages to get the victory. Well fought, well deserved win by Claw Viper, and it's good to see Claw Viper actually get to live up to some of its potential. Mr. Makon, do you concur?
Yeah, absolutely. Like that was a good back and forth fight. Like my only notes are like just reiterating what you already just said. So, the only other thing I can say is that I missed the opportunity to say Triple Crown, more like Triple Clown. Got him.
Okay, you can't see it, but ordinarily there we would have posted a gif of the clown from SpongeBob.
I thought you were just no-selling my shitty joke.
I mean, that was an option, but, I wanted you to have this. Anyway,
okay.
we got a good fight out of that.
Yep.
Claw Viper, worthy winner, well fought, well deserved, and it's good to see it live up to some of its potential.
Absolutely.
With that, we move on to another harbinger of things to come throughout the night, and what became an absolutely amazing little series of things to happen. Hypershock versus Valkyrie. Now, my initial question in this is, who is going to be the more reliable of the two. And we got a good build-up leading into it, as we had the interviews between the two teams, and highlighting of the reliability issues that both teams have suffered in the past as well.
Of course.
But, at the same time, we got some good highlights of how they're well-driven, well-controlled as well, and that it's a great veteran matchup, and what a fight this ended up turning out as, eh, Mac?
Yes, this was straight up a murder. Valkyrie died.
Yep, this was a total squash, and it was in the best way as well. Valkyrie is no pushover, so for a robot to come in and just absolutely smash it to pieces, that tells you something right there. And oh my god, what Hypershock did to Valkyrie in this fight. It's something else.
Hypershock destroyed Valkyrie's weapon so hard that it became an active weapon again.
Yes, right. Okay, so we're going to come to that in a second. What happened was, Hypershock, coming out with an absolutely epic box rush, manages to land a great hit on Valkyrie right out of the gate, flips it up and over, and then Sniper strikes it in just the right place, alongside its bodywork. And then I've got it listed right here. Box rush, flip, Sniper strike, murder, in that order. Hits the weapon so hard that it completely dislodges it entirely. Like the weapon motor, the weapon blade, all comes loose. The blade comes flying off and is still spinning there on the floor as well. And about a minute later, Hypershock approaches it while it's still spinning and destroys that, even though there's nothing to be gained from doing it.
Destroys it, and it destroys the lighting again. I was something up there anyway. It destroys a sign, I'm pretty sure.
And we've established as well, Valkyrie is tough as nails as well. So for Hypershock to so thoroughly trash it, that's something else. It really just shows just how stunningly engineered Hypershock actually is.
Yeah, it really fucking is.
And with that, that's a sign of things to come. That's all I'll say for now, because the next fight that we discussed is going to be amazing. Yes. Now, Claw Viper versus Mad Catter. Martin Mason is a king. You've got to love his whole team, who are all having the time of their lives with their pro wrestling style personas, and that's going to be demonstrated later on, which kind of spoils this bout. But let's be real, we all thought Mad Catter was going to win this, and Mad Catter did not disappoint.
Claw Viper got some air in this fight, and
yeah,
that's the most it really did.
Yeah, great opening rush from Mad Catter in this fight, as it just shoots right in and bam, lands an absolute monster shot on Claw Viper, who, credit where it's due, actually did a really good job to survive as long as it did in this fight. It's a very robust machine at this point. And we're seeing that as it gets punted all over the battle box, and Mad Catter just, fantastic beatdown by them, and Martin Mason with his post-match promo as well, dedicating it to the foster kitten. May they rest in peace. We love you, little kitty. But yeah, great beatdown by Mad Catter in this fight. Claw Viper showing its robust construction at this point. Claw Viper, I think, will be one to watch when the actual season comes back around.
Yeah, I could see them coming back strong.
Yeah. But as it is, Mad Catter with the big beatdown here, and boom, moving into the next round.
And what a next round that is. It's right now, it's Hypershock and Mad Catter in the finals.
The loser eats a sad meal at the hotel buffet tonight. Chris, 2022.
Still a fucking amazing line.
That is something I'm legitimately going to use in something at some point. I said that last night, and I'm saying it again now.
Okay, this was the match of the night.
Now, this is yes, it was. Now, both teams bringing that pro wrestling smoke here as well, with the cutting the promos on each other. Will Bales and co coming out, doing an actual, steel chair attack as well, albeit with a plastic chair. But, they really played into the whole pro wrestling thing in all of this, to the point that they actually out wrestlinged Martin Mason and co in this, I think.
They out-Sincaro'd him. They out-pointed him.
Yeah, like, this is the thing. Martin Mason is essentially one of our favorite showmen in all of BattleBots, and in this case, the Hypershock team outdid him, albeit only by a bit, because, you know, he's still, like, we still got a great thing later on. But now this is the thing, right? Like you said, fight of the night, and that's something I'm going to concur. While I was watching this fight, and when I saw how it turned out, I was thinking to myself, you cat to be kidding me, right, meow.
God
because
damn it.
somebody had to say it eventually.
And it wasn't going to be me.
Now, yep, it will always be me, won't it? I'm an actor. I've got no sense of shame. Yeah, I've no sense of shame. I'm a performer.
Yeah, I only write the bad lines. I don't actually say them.
Yes, it's my job to deliver them with conviction.
Exactly.
Anyway, so my notes for this fight: great swarming by Hypershock, disabling the weapon on Mad Catter briefly, and it says a lot for Mad Catter's construction that, you know, it was able to recover after a little bit and get that weapon back up to speed. Yep. Great recovery and comeback, but, you know, this steadily turns into an absolutely savage beatdown by Hypershock. Hypershock just absolutely tearing Mad Catter limb from limb from limb. And just, oh my god, the domination. This is one of the most complete destructions we've ever seen in all of BattleBots. Mad Catter ripped limb from limb, torn apart, gets its weapon disabled, and it really says a lot for how sturdily constructed it is that it held out for as long as it did.
It just kept going. It just fucking kept going until it couldn't anymore. It is the Jeff Hardy of robot fighting.
Now, what it did was it took up Duck's strategy of doing its best to try and break the weapon with its face after its weapon was disabled. And to its credit, it survived a very long time, all things considered, for constantly running into Hypershock's weapon. From what I remember, there were only like either 23 or 27 seconds left on the clock by the time that Mad Catter was finally counted out. Yeah, Mad Catter spent like 2 minutes without a weapon and was just trying its hardest to bludgeon Hypershock to death. It
took being flipped up onto like its back onto the shelf in order to fucking finally knock it out.
Yeah. And, like, that was with its, like, motors essentially hanging out as well. It was essentially going up in smoke at that point. But goddamn, what a heroic fight back.
That is the way, if you are someone who loves robot fighting, that's the way you want to go out.
I'm saying it now. We're looking at two future champions here.
I was literally going to say that. Like, Hypershock and Mad Catter are both going to be champions.
Yeah, both of them are going to win the nut one day.
Imagine if this is the finals for next year's fucking tournament.
Oh, what a rematch that would be.
Like, I have to imagine that this is absolutely going to get, like, run back at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Like, this has got to be done again. Because both teams come back so strongly every year, and Mad Catter has been one of the great success stories of the BattleBots reboot, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
But with that, yep. You cat to be kidding me, right? Meow out of 10, aka 10 out of 10. Fight of the night so far, and knockout of the night. And just absolutely, yes, fantastic display by Will Bales and co. And a great post-fight promo from both teams as well. And great sportsmanship too.
Absolutely. Like, God, they loved how much they got the shit bit out of them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, this is the thing, and I said it earlier in the episode, if you come to BattleBots, the best way to leave BattleBots is with your robot in absolute pieces.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what Mad Catter got in this case.
Because if you get beaten up like that, then you know what you need to do to improve and get better so you don't get beaten up like that.
Yeah. And with that, Hypershock versus Gigabyte, our main event of the evening. Let's Beyblade!
Oh god, what a fucking fight this was.
Oh yeah, right. There's a bit coming up here. I am so looking forward to this.
My notes for this include just yelling. That's all it is, yelling.
So this is the thing, right. As we come out, Hypershock, aggressive out of the gates. Great fight package leading up into this as well, and did a great job highlighting how brutal Hypershock had been throughout this episode. And Hypershock just coming out straight out of the gate, launches Gigabyte all about the place, just punts it all over the place, ole, ole, and then eventually Gigabyte does manage to land a hit on Hypershock that it seems screws up Will Bales' transmitter. As he comes to say later on after the fight, it basically turns up to down, it turns the weapon motor into the drive motor or something like that, and we saw Hypershock really struggling to drive for like 20 seconds there. And that led into something absolutely brilliant here. As Gigabyte comes in to launch the attack. This is just the right moment. It's like Hypershock, a wounded animal at this point.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Boom! Massive hit from Hypershock that sends Gigabyte straight into the Shadow Realm.
Okay, that's the thing that destroyed the sign. So that was like one of the best hits I think I've ever seen in this series.
Like, this is the thing. It's more than just a hit. It doesn't just destroy Gigabyte. It legitimately smashes it into like a dozen different pieces, that one hit.
It did.
As it shakes everything out of Gigabyte. Gigabyte just goes flying. The shell goes in one direction, all of the connectors go in another, all of the internals go in another. It's an absolutely... You couldn't replicate that if you tried.
You really couldn't. It was the perfect moment.
Yes, this is a one-of-a-kind hit. We saw Hypershock murder 4 different machines back-to-back in this episode. So you could say Hypershock is for real.
God damn.
Mac, if you do not superimpose Will Bales' face over a picture of Chris Benoit, you will have failed as a host.
Oh yeah, okay, fine. Put the music in there too.
Yeah, that's a pretty dark joke, I know, even for us, but somebody has to make it eventually.
Do they? Do they really?
Yes.
Okay. But goddamn, Hypershock too good.
Yes, Hypershock absolutely murdering all of the competition in this episode. Will Bales is not fucking around at this point, and I could honestly see them going all the way. I mean, I could see them beating damn near anybody. Like, I could see it beating Tombstone, I could see it beating... let's see.
Tantrum would be up in the air. Endgame...
Yeah, Tantrum would be up in the air, I think. Endgame, I could see it beating.
Didn't they fight? They fought last year, didn't they?
I think so. My memory's a bit
hang on,
on this.
Let me have a look, actually. I need to remember.
But anyway, with this, we come to the end of the episode, and that one dud with Triple Crown aside, which, you know, gave you all our brilliant little bit of comedy there.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Thank you very much. 10 out of 10 episode. Awesome fights all the way through, and yeah, just an absolute pleasure to watch. This is one of those episodes that you want to show people to get them interested in robot combat to begin with. Just fantastic showing. There's something for everyone in this episode.
Great opening episode for a new season. New series even. I like it so far.
Absolutely. Like, I am so much more invested in it in this format than I was in Bounty Hunters, to be honest.
Yeah, I never watched Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, like, I tried to watch some of Bounty Hunters, and I know I'm kind of doing a disservice by not having watched it all, but I don't know, I just wasn't really feeling it when I tried to watch it, and whereas this, you know, I'm all the way in on.
Yeah, this has, like, an actual, like, a good goal, and a good end goal.
Yeah, and, you know, the fact that it leads into an all-new tournament, whereas Bounty Hunters didn't, that's something I'm very hyped for.
Yeah. Plus, like, the final thing's gonna be, like, an absolute killer's row of top-tier bots.
Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, 10 out of 10 episode, awesome fights, great stuff all the way through, and yeah, just an absolute brilliantly... absolutely brilliant thing to break the robot combat drought with.
Now let's look at the card for next week.
Okay, right. Mac, take it away.
Okay, so we have ourselves Ribot versus Double Jeopardy. That's probably gonna be another Ribot murder.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I can see that. Unless Double Jeopardy uses its gun to blow up the frog.
That's I'm interested in seeing how that works. Because I don't think I've ever seen that before.
You haven't seen Double Jeopardy use its cannon?
No, I haven't.
Huh.
Like how like what does it do? It is like a confetti cannon?
Well, Double Jeopardy, you might remember, is the suitcase-shaped robot that fires a cannon that fires a 6-pound solid metal slug.
Oh no, I don't remember this at all. I don't know what season that was.
Or at least it was. I think it was 6 pounds. 6 pounds the last time I heard. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
this would have been a couple of seasons ago now.
Oh, okay.
From what I understand, they've got more than one shot now.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah, it's
just
one of
the
the only-
so it's just the pachinko machine now as a robot.
Basically, it's one of if not the only projectile weapon robots in all of Robot Combat.
Oh, very nice.
At the very least, one that doesn't use tethers.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so Ribot versus Double Jeopardy.
Yes, Malice versus Slammo. Everyone's favorite robot, Slammo.
Hey, I like Slammer.
Yeah, Slammo's cool. He's a suplex robot, right? He is, yes! Yo, a Tazbot. Or Hookbot,
Hey,
even.
remember, there was a robot called Tazbot. Maybe
Was
by Dave
there?
Hudson.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, you're not aware of Tazbot?
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
of course, it would have been before your time. It competed in the original run of the Battlebots years
Okay.
ago.
Yeah, because
And
we
when I
only
say
got
years
Robot
ago,
Wars
I
here.
mean years ago. Yeah,
Like early
like when
2000s?
Long Beach, 1999 was when Tazbot competed.
Oh, okay.
It actually fought Razor in Battlebots and defeated it.
Oh, nice.
Yep, you'll remember Razor.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like we only got like Robot Wars here, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Slammo versus Malice.
Malice, yes, I like Malice. I hope they do well. Shatter
like
versus
Malice.
Pain Train.
Shatter, my personal pick to win this episode if it's up to me. I love
Honestly-
Shatter. I
honestly,
love
same.
I love the hammer, I love the Omni wheels, I love the design of the robot, and I love the team. And it's such a brilliant machine, and I would love to see it go all the way in this episode.
Of course, and then there's Pain Train, the Baron Corbin of robots.
Oh wow.
It has potential, but yeah.
We'll see. Maybe it will live up to it this time.
I mean, hopefully. And then we have Deep Six versus Huge.
Oh wow. That is gonna be a big hitter of a fight, isn't it?
It is. That's.
I'm wondering
we
if
need
this means...
At this point we need a freeway between Deep Six, Huge, and Mammoth.
Do you remember what happened to Huge a couple of seasons ago where it fought Ice Wave and was split in half?
Yes.
I'm worried that that's going to happen again.
It's very possible.
Then again, it didn't happen against Mammoth.
True. I mean,
So I guess we'll see.
it's also possible that Deep Six can like just sort of leapfrog off of Huge and fly into space.
Anyway, next fight.
I don't know next fight. They have to fight. They have to fight to determine what the next fight is. Because there are 4 fight Jack. And then there's like, hang on, let's just say, I mean, like, if you, should we say, I mean, it has, people, the descriptions are out there for the episodes,
Okay.
like, it's Lockjaw. It's got the big boss
Yep.
Lockjaw.
It's gonna be, yeah, this is gonna be, it's gonna be an absolutely bonkers main event then, because Lockjaw is always an absolute treat to watch.
Oh yeah, like Lockjaw versus any of these guys is gonna be very interesting. See?
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, so with that, we come to the end of the episode. Mac, do we have anything else that we want to talk about this week?
I mean, no, we were meant to, but no, we can't.
Yep. That's yeah, that does sound about right.
That's the whole.
So,
that's a
you
story
wanted to
we're not
talk
getting
about-
into.
Yeah. Anyway, so no, you wanted to talk about something pro wrestling.
Oh
related
yeah,
as
true.
well, didn't you?
Yeah, Ric Flair got them finally retired.
Ah,
Yeah, that
yes.
whole story.
Again. Yep. Like 14 years after his last retirement, he finally hung it back up.
How
For
old
now.
is Ric Flair?
Let's face it. Ric Flair's like 72, 73 years old at this point, I think.
He's a fucking million years old. He's like he was once an ancient pharaoh in Egypt.
Yeah, 73 years old.
73 years old, and he only just retired this past week. Like,
Well, remember, he did retire 14 years ago, and then he came back because he's very, very bad with money, because
That's
he
true.
keeps getting married to people and has to pay alimony.
that's true. That's very true. But
And you know what?
now
At one point,
Yep.
one point, I felt sorry for him. I no longer do, because we know we know exactly what type of man Ric Flair is, and I can heartily say, fuck him.
Okay.
Yeah, remember Dark Side of the Ring, man.
Oh yeah, fucking. It's kind of wild that like Flair didn't get as much flack for anything in that episode than well, fucking Tommy Dreamer got
Tommy
all the
Dreamer.
flack for defending him.
To be fair, it was the how of how he defended him rather than the why.
Yeah, true.
Like
But yeah.
the classic. But yeah.
Ric
So
Flair
as it
found
is,
out.
now to be fair, from what I understand, the actual card was pretty stacked.
Oh, dude, the card was really good. Let me just bring up the fucking last match card.
Whereas the last match itself was
It was
decidedly
fine. It was fine. It was sports entertainment. It was a WCW match.
him trying to go out on his own terms, basically.
Yeah. Okay. So Ric Flair, during that entire match, it looked like he was dying. It actively
probably
looked like he
is,
was
to be
dying.
fair.
Like he took a superplex at one point. Or at least, actually, no, he took. It looked like he was gonna take a suplex, but then they got down and he just took a regular suplex. And even then, it looked like he was gonna die like Misawa.
Oh man.
God, but I mean, he pulled through. He won the match. It was an interesting match. Jeff Jarrett was doing some weird stuff. Fucking Jeff Jarrett kept threatening fucking Flair's wife. It was so weird. But it was,
something did you notice when Tony Schiavone called Flair the greatest of all time over the microphone, Bret Hart, who was in the crowd, looked like he had to be held back by his wife?
yeah.
Like he just had a Pavlovian response of no,
Sure.
no, no.
Uh,
Because to be fair, like even if they say they've reconciled and everything, you can tell Bret still fucking hates Flair
I
as a
mean,
wrestler.
true. Plus, I mean, to be fair, Bret Hart is indeed the best wrestler of all time. I mean, Misawa, but the best North American wrestler of all time is Bret Hart.
I don't know if I'd specifically agree, but he's definitely one of the top 5.
Like Bret's,
Probably close to the
dude,
top
Bret-
3, to be honest.
Dude, Bret was so fucking good. Like I've gone back and watched some Bret matches. Like Bret's incredible. Like just the stuff he does. People
Dude, you're
need
preaching
to do.
you're preaching to the choir here, my friend. I'm not underrating Bret Hart or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you can make a case for certain other guys.
I
But
mean, oh yeah,
he's
true.
definitely like, he's
up there.
definitely like, yeah, like
He's top of the pecking
like,
order. Like
he's in the
top.
1% of the 1%, alongside guys like, you know, let's see, Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit, etc.
Yeah.
Although I would argue that you know, Bret's work holds up way better than Shawn's does, in my opinion.
It does.
His
It really
fi-
does.
All of his matches feel like real fights, and that's very rare.
Yeah, like the dude just had the best mind for wrestling, like in that time period, like in the North American area.
It probably says a lot about Ric Flair that we've gone from discussing his last match to just, you know, talking about how, no, he's not the greatest of all time. Actually, it's Bret.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
yeah, accurate. Because
And he's
the last thing
as a
about
wrestler,
yeah,
As a wrestler, Brett is definitely way better than Flair was.
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
For ring work and everything.
But to Ric Flair's credit, he did fucking fake a heart attack in front of his family in order to fucking psych out the heels.
Wow.
And then he poked fucking Jay Lethal in the eyes afterwards. Because Ric Flair, being a carny fucking motherfucker until the very end.
Yep, that does sound about right.
I mean, to be fair, that match, as weird as it was fun. I enjoyed watching it.
Right.
The rest of the card was good. Like the Lucha match was really good. Josh Alexander versus Jacob Fatu was great. Jacob Fatu, I need him in more places because he is too fucking good. Like, you haven't watched him, have you?
I've seen some of him, and what I've seen has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the dude is fucking phenomenal. Like, once he gets out of the MLW contract, like, he is going to be the biggest fucking star, like, one of the biggest stars in wrestling. Like, the dude's too good. The dude is massive, and he's doing crazy moonsaults like they're goddamn nothing.
And that's the thing, he's got amazing control over it as well. Like, when it looked like one time it was going to go wrong, and he managed to just, like, turn it in midair to make it so that he landed in such a way that he didn't injure the guy. And when he was asked about it after, he was just like, I don't know, brother. I just did it.
That's what
I heard anyway. Yeah.
Oh, God. But yeah,
or when he was going to try and beat down Hannibal after he slashed up that referee.
Oh yeah, true. Oh god, I forgot about that.
Oh man, Hannibal would have died that night.
He would have. Fucking, you don't want to piss off a goddamn Fatu.
Yeah.
Also, John Progression worked that. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
the short guy.
Yeah. After he said, "Oh, yeah, no, fuck this, I'm not wrestling anymore," he comes back to win a number one contenders match for the Progress title. The title he had to vacate.
Well, that was short-lived then, wasn't it?
It was. God damn.
Clearly a man of little principles.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yes, these jokes will be made every time. Anyway, I think we've fallen a bit too deeply into the pro wrestling bubble and everybody's leaving in droves, so...
Yeah, I mean, look, if you stuck around for that, then... thank you, I guess. Anyway.
Okay,
we promise it's not all going to be pro wrestling in the afterthings. In the aftermath. But anyway.
So, in closing, do we have anything else we want to talk about this week?
No.
Nope, nothing. Well then, I'm just going to say, everybody, it's great to be back, it's great to be recording these again, and to the handful of people, and I do mean the handful of people, let's face it, we've only got like 4 or 5 listeners out there, but to those of you who listen to our insane ramblings, thank you so much. We do appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you again for being part of the best fan base in the world. Like, it's such a good time to be a Robot Combat fan, and it's great to, just be involved with such a tight-knit community.
Yeah, there's too much good stuff at the moment for robot fighting. It's incredible.
Yeah, stuff all over the world. If only we could get Robot Wars back. One day.
One day.
Probably not.
Have a look. It says, yell at the BBC.
Yep, I will forever be mad at the BBC for that. Anyway.
Fuck the BBC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, definitely right now. Anyway, with that, we come to the end of the week. It's been great being back, and we look forward to recording more of these moving forward, and we hope that you'll come back and listen to them if we haven't somehow driven you off already. Until then, special thanks to all of you, and until then, he's Mac, I'm Jack. Take care, stay safe, we love you.
See you later.